Apparently we're back. Well, hey. Okay. Well, I've updated. What am I talking about? I've upgraded the bitrate to 700 now, because I'm getting about 700 to 800 on this at the moment. So hopefully that'll give you a slight better. Slightly better. It's not dropped any frames yet, so we're doing okay. So it'll be slightly better quality when I start moving things around. Okay. I apologise, but you'll have to bear with me on these things. I haven't done this before, so you'll have to forgive the odd pregnant pauses when I try and work out what to say next or so on, or when I go through the chat. Obviously you don't have a webcam to look at me on, so you can't tell if I'm looking at the screen or not. So I'll just have to hope that you work it out. Okay, what have I been? I suppose I'll say about what I've been doing on this. For the last few days, since work broke up for the Christmas holidays, I've been essentially trading back and forth between Lave and various other places. I've bought a load of Lave and Brandy at Lave, and then wandered off in whatever direction I feel like pointing the ship in, trying to visit some of the hot points in the area. The first place I went to was to try and catch up with one of my friends from university. That was a good 20 years ago, but we're still friends. He was the guy that was on just when I was starting to get this stream up and running. We were doing voice chat for the first time, so I was heading down to the neck of the woods he started in, which was apparently the LHS's 3447 system is where most people start, but I didn't realise that, and he told me he was starting at the Trevithick dock. So I did a search for Trevithick, and then it came up with the one which was unknown to me, about 150 light years the wrong way. So Highland Park whiskey sounds lovely. If you're into your malt whiskies, I can suggest Isla Jura. That's my favourite one. If I'm being particularly Scottish, then I tend to go for the Isla Jura. But if I'm just up for any old thing, then I'll go for the Glenfiddich, or Glenmoray is my other one, my other main favourite tipple. But I have been known to enjoy American whiskies as well. I do like a bit of the Jack, and recently I got into Jim Beam, but that's mainly in barbecue sauce, so hey, shoot me, I don't care. So yeah, as I said, I've been going to Lave, buying a load of brandy, nipping over to Leasty, getting some Leasty Evil juice and Azure milk, which was a surprise find. Obviously that's a shout out. That's the second Star Wars shout out I've seen so far, as well as George Lucas Station. Quite fitting that George Lucas Station sells Azure milk, actually, now I think about it. Yeah, so headed down there, noticed that Max wasn't there. He's a Vanguard Woundweaver in game, which is probably a Gemmel reference, knowing Max. So I headed back up to Lave, bought some more stuff, and then headed right down to where I was supposed to be. And he wasn't there either. So in the meantime, made a good few thousand. Yeah, glad to admit, and I found lots of whiskies that I do like, and I found a few that don't like me. Not a big fan of blended whiskies, and I'm not a big fan of the stereotypical single malts like not Famous Grouse, that's a blended one, but things like Glenfiddich and Glenmorangie, or Glenmorangie, however you want to pronounce it. I'm not keen on them, wasn't keen on them, but I do like the older single malts, especially the Highland based ones. So Isle of Jura, yum, highly recommend that. When last time I was up in Scotland, actually, we went to a whisky place, a whisky, not museum, but a whisky heritage site, which had a big shop full of every type of whisky you can imagine. It was like Nirvana. The only thing missing was a tasting table. Leathery eggs at Ridley Scott. Well, given Ridley Scott station, yes, I would say that's probably a nod to Alien, yeah. I wonder if they've got permission to use these names. Have you ever wondered that? Anyway, yeah, so the third run I made was up to Slough, which I enjoy going to. Got there before Kate and thought if I spend all week here, then I'll wait for her coming along. And I thought, no, I'm going to get bored shitless. Sorry. Have I ticked this as a mature stream? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, I went down there, and then today, having managed to wonderfully spend nearly the entire day today on the computer, I went from Slough Orbital back up to Lave, did the usual run, picked up some stuff and brought it down here, and this is where you join me. This is Prism System. This, if anyone has read Drew Wagar's book, Reclamation, this is obviously where that's set. So I thought this would be a nice place to head off down to. As while I'm going, I'm actually taking screenshots of pretty much everywhere I am, which will be eventually used in the RPG as either double page spreads if I manage to get a nice enough one, or I'll use parts of them as little icons or little labels for various different bits of the text in the book. For example, if I'm going to have listings of planets in the book, which I'm intending to, then I'd love to have each one headed with a little picture of the planet itself. So that would be nice, I think. But, special 5 whiskey tasting now. God. Challenging it in a Saturday, I can imagine it would be. See, I wouldn't be able to do that because I'd be driving, so I wouldn't be tasting anything. I'd be getting everyone else to do the tasting for me, so I'd just get depressed. Well, James, if I can find the Senator, I will certainly assassinate one. But not Senator Drew, because Senator Drew is my next choice for Emperor, as you know. I'll be backing him. My vote's in. None of these other pretenders are going to get anywhere near it. So, well, I'll do some game stuff then, so you've got something to look at other than just listening to me. Didn't mean to do that. I'm going to get rid of some of my exploration stuff, hopefully made a bit more cash there as well. Not much. I thought that would have got me more. Never mind. No, I haven't seen my NPC characters in game. I've not seen anyone's NPC characters in game actually. Ah, this is more boring than what I was doing before. Seen some pictures around it, people who've seen Kate and I believe Chris Jarvis popped up at one point and various other people. Right. Now what I've been doing, as my amount of available money climbs, I've been grabbing myself a ship. I probably shouldn't actually type on the chat thing while I'm trying to actually broadcast something, should I? Just my impatient way of trying to get everyone to talk to me quicker, or respond to me quicker. But then that's just because I love being the centre of attention, so apparently. Joe Collett. Take a screenshot and follow him. That reminds me, way back in the alpha, when they just brought out the Orbis stations, I thought I'll go and grab some pictures of them, again for the game, in my little trusty Sidewinder. And so I nipped over to the first world document. I think it was Owlin Enterprise, if I remember rightly. And I was just sitting around there quite happily grabbing some screenshots. And then a nefarious commander by the name of Commander Phoenix, not Phoenix Defier, who we all know, but a Commander Phoenix. And apparently he owned up to it at one point. Not apparently, he did own up to one point. I can't remember who he was now. But he sneaked up behind me and shot me in the bum. I wasn't very happy with that one. Just innocently taking some photos. It's like going up to tourists with a camera and then shooting them in the back. I wasn't impressed. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, what I've been doing is I've been doing all this trade, running these rare goods across the galaxy and seeing how much I can get. And then when I get back up to the Lave area, I see if I can grab myself another ship. And as it stands at the minute, I've got 3 ships. 2 ships, because I sold the Eagle. I didn't want an Eagle. So I've got my Cobra that I'm in now, and I've got a Viper sitting at Shinra to Desra, which I'm going to tool up as a handy fighter. I think I'm going to do that one. The Cobra is not my fighting ship because I'm not one for the combat at the moment. And obviously, I've only had a PC that can handle combat since Christmas Day, so I am planning to use this for exploration, and then use the Viper for mucking about on. I'm also going to buy myself a Sidewinder at some point. James, it might be worthwhile sending an email to Frontiers, or send some to the community manager, or just ask if you can. They might let you, I don't know, unless you already asked, in which case ignore that. But I'm actually wishing I can change the name of the space station that I named. I'm not actually happy with the name of it now. I would rather I just actually named it what it was meant to be named, rather than trying to be clever and making it sound smart. But never mind, I might do that, I might try that. Okay, so what am I going to do? Suggestions, anyone? I was contemplating just heading back up towards Lave, which would take a while, but wouldn't be very interesting to watch, would it? Has anyone actually been able to work out how you get your ships that are at other locations to your current locations? Because I can't see an option for doing that now. Okay, thanks Fairy Toad. Denied again. Is this one of the They did say, Fairy Toad, in the Kickstarter and sort of during the development, that they were going to try and make it a possibility to actually have your ship brought to you. I think it was even one of the recent dev diaries as well about it. Is that something they've not managed to put in place then? Take it. Oh well, that's a shame. Okay, in that case then I'm probably going to head back up to Lave, buy myself a Sidewinder, at least keep all my ships in the same place roughly. Or I may go back to Shinra or Desra and buy one from there. If not, I'll go nearby. I did want to actually have all my ships stored at Tianisla, seeing as that's where me as a character is based. Yeah. Okay, Galactic, there's probably something going to shove in soon, as certain people would say. God, 10 past 10, that's terrible. I've been playing this since 3 o'clock today. DDF voted against it. Why? That's an awesome idea. Ugh. Bloody DDF getting in my way again. What am I going to do then? Any suggestions for what I can do then? What would you find interesting? Obviously I don't have any I don't have any guns on this thing, so I can't do any combat things. No, that's the wrong button. Outfitting. kind of watching Kate's stream earlier was funny because she was I think somebody was having a go at her for not knowing what the classes are all about. Well, I have to shamefully say that I'm not entirely sure what they're all about myself, because there's a lot of different variables, and this is one of the problems I've been having with the certain elements of the role-playing game, is trying to work out how to collate the class, the rating, the integrity, and all that kind of stuff all together, because it just changes the costs in very different ways. So I'm not entirely sure what to do. I was contemplating buying some weapons for this thing, and I've got enough money to do it, and actually I'm going to try and take it into combat. Scary thought. So I think the usual thing at the moment is you have a laser on one fire group, and multi-cannons on the other fire group, if I remember. Okay, good night Fiery Toad, thank you for being on, thank you for watching, and thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this really boring this really boring broadcast. Hopefully I'll improve. Classes are about the size of the slot. Higher is larger. Yeah, it's the same way that worked in Frontier, wasn't it? Where your class 1 is small, your class 2 is larger, your class 3 is larger than that. And there's an upper limit to the class that you're... Obviously your hard point as you on the screen. The hard point on the screen, hard point number is the maximum class you can put in, so same as Frontier. Rating is how good an item is within the class. A is best. Okay. I'm actually thinking integrity might be something to do with the repair state, like how worn it is, how much it needs service or something like that. So when you buy them, then essentially, unless you're at a used dealership, then they're all going to be at integrity A, hopefully. But I don't know. As I say, it's trying to work that into the system for trying to work out how much things cost and what impact it has on the cost of something, which has been a problem. Trying to get I tried to put a screen. Stream of consciousness talking just doesn't work with me. Trying to put a spreadsheet together of all the different things. So 4-beam lasers, gimbal for simplicity and upgraded as and when I could. Oh, James, dearie me. Okay, what can I fit on there then? So what's the highest? What's the? You've done a very good job of hiding the blushing, James. What's the better thing to have as a higher class? Is the laser better as a higher class, or is the multi-cannon better as a higher class? And how much does ammo cost? Is ammo more expensive the higher the class of the gun, or? I don't want to spend too much on this because I want to just put some basic guns on it. Mining laser. Fragment cannon. But this thing doesn't sell any weapons, does it? This station sucks. I've come 300,000 light seconds to a station that sells bugger all. Integrity maybe means how many hit points I have. That could be spot on actually, it sounds a bit right. So if it gets hit by something, then integrity may go down. That makes sense. Well, as I say, bugger on the way weapons here. Fragment cannon. Fixed. Gimbaled. No, these are all too expensive. I don't want to buy something that expensive. It's going to go to the same list, isn't it? Yeah. Kind of good grief. Turret. Ooh. There's bugger all to buy though. Not the prices I want to pay anyway. Fine. I've changed my livery. I saw a lot of people flying about with the wireframe on today in Kate's stream. Made me remember that I actually paid a hell of a lot more for that than I did for all the rest of them. So I think I'm going to change over from my yellow serpent to classic wireframe. Oh yeah, shiny. Have any more decals yet? No, just the skull. Okay. I don't know if you have to pay more for it, you're downgrading it. I think you'll improve some aspect of it, but you'll maybe leave something. Yeah, the pirate decals probably look good in the wireframe, but I don't want them. I don't find them particularly original because it's the only one that's there. I want more decals. See, maybe one of you guys know this. There was supposed to be decals for people on the Kickstarter who were there on the first day. Have they actually? Is that what these skulls are, or is there a different one? So I'll now wait 30 seconds for the answers to that. In the meantime, let's have a look at the map, which I am happy to say actually works. Because I'll give you an idea what I was. See these things? They didn't move, and the map moved like this. Yeah. But imagine that without the grid actually moving smoothly there. It was bad. It was bad, very bad. That's why I've avoided combat up until recently. Skulls of the Mercenary Pack. They've not made this particularly obvious, have they? I mean, unless you read the forums, I suppose, which is, I suppose, my own fault for not reading the forums, but if you're not on the forums much, like I'm not, because I just find it too difficult to navigate nowadays, too many people on there. Every time you go into a comment and 30 seconds later 15 more posts have come on and it's gone miles away from what you were actually talking about before. So, anyway, shall I try perhaps do something actually tradey? Show trade routes. Where to go? Well, where to go is probably going to be easy to look at the commodities market, isn't it? What's high supply? There we go. So all that stuff's high supply. Palladium. Was it not tantalum that Prism was meant to trade in? Interesting, they don't actually have tantalum on the list of stuff to buy. Maybe Drew needs to speak to Frontier about that one. Anyway, what we got? What's a good profit then? I'll get 1,000 profit, roughly on gold. Some decals sold during the beta. I don't remember ever seeing any decals being sold. I remember there was lots of skins, like paint jobs for the ships, but I don't remember any decals being sold. What should I buy then, guys? Gold. James, I have a question. What's the origin of the name Selezen like? I might guess it was an RPG character of yours. Well, you'd be right to think that. Yeah, so the original Selezen is actually Russian for Drake, in the sense of male duck rather than dragon. I don't know if it means dragon as well, actually, I'm not sure, but as far as I'm aware it means Drake. And yes, that was the name of one of my characters, and and the only actual role-playing game that I played long term as a player rather than as a GM. It was called Dark Age, which you can find it online now at, let me think, is it darkage.co.uk? I believe it's darkage.co.uk, which was it was a self-written, not by me, a guy called Richard Harris wrote it as an expansion pack for Cyberpunk 2020. It's like a UK expansion, and he eventually turned it into his own role-playing game system. And my character's name in that was Simon Drake, so that's where Drake comes from. When I was looking for an online handle, because I've been known as Decker up till that point, which again was a role-playing thing, because it was a computer hacker in the Shadowrun role-playing game. Right, okay, if you go to www.darkage.co.uk/RPG, you'll see the game I'm talking about. It's very good, very fun to play. A bit of as I say, cyberpunk with a bit of supernatural, bit of dystopian future, and set in the grey and unpleasant land of Britain. And we played in a city called Manchester, which was what used to be Manchester. Yeah, well, the lake came later on actually, because when I first used to do web searches for Selezen to see if anybody had used it as a handle, it came back with absolutely nothing at all. So it was a whole new word as far as I thought. So, no one's thought of this before. I've actually been quite unique, but no, because as Google got better, and obviously more things were found, and then I found there was a place called Selezen Lake in Russia, or Drake Lake in Russia. Selezen Ozenia or something like that is Russian for lake. Someone actually on the game yesterday asked if my name was Russian for Swan Lake. It was close. Ozero, that's it. The full name of it is Selezen Ozero, or Ezera, I pronounce it. Yeah, so that was it. That's the story behind Selezen Lake. I added the lake on basically as a second name when I came onto the Elite thing, so I had a second name for the character. Oh, it was the Bankers app they used. I thought, see, that's it. You know, since they changed the Backers app, or they changed the website, I've never actually used the Backers app. I didn't think it was still there. But, oops, I'll do it. I'm gonna buy some gold, wasn't it? Shall we fill up? That's going to attract some pirates, isn't it? So that's tiny population, extraction economy. So where would the best place be to take gold? Probably wouldn't be an industrial place, would it? Or would it? Because they might be able to use it for fabricating stuff, wouldn't they? They can make stuff with it. Or would it be better to take it to a high population place? Because then lots of people want to buy it and make gold, make jewellery out of it. Well, what shall I do? What shall I do? What shall I do? Where shall I go? I've not got my head around the trading thing yet. That's why I've been doing the runs from Lave, because I know it's a guaranteed huge profit once I get there, and we're having a huge fuel tank. Travelling long distances isn't a problem, because I was obviously the Kickstarter thing got me the same Cobra as Kate. For those of you who were watching Kate earlier, with the large hold, well, largish hold, but the long distance stuff in it, and good hyperdrive and all that as well. It got me, gets me quite a long way. So anyway, where shall we take it? Commodities, no, that's the wrong thing. It's map you want. Now, navigation, view. This thing, I've changed the colour scheme. But I'm not entirely sure if that matches up to what's on the screen now, does it? Because I don't think it does. What's there? What's there? Nothing. What's there? Nothing. What's there? Finery. That might do. Shall we try that then? Yes, collecting bin. Yes, it's not bad. That's the Levy and Brandy run. That's what it does. It's quite good. It's like, I think it's the least in evil just is the best profit you can get from what I've seen so far. I've not been very far around, so don't take that as read. But you can buy it for 400 credits from Leasty, and you can get about 7 at a time. And then if you take it about 120, 160 light years away, you can sell it for about 17,000. So it does give you a very, very good profit. So I usually stock up on Levy and Brandy and Leasty Evil Juice and Azure Milk, and then drag them down into the sticks. At least the sticks as far as starting from Leve's concerned. You get a really good profit on it. In that one run I just did there, I started off, it cost me about 50,000 to fill the ship up, and I think I've made about 200,000 in return. 200, because it was 700 on the. So I started on 450,000 on this run when I left Lave, and sold it, and I was at what, 780,000, something like that. So that's nearly 300,000. Diesel Corm is also cheap. Oh yeah, there's all that area, all the old worlds seem to have something on them, something rare on them. So it might be worth doing a bit of a tour around and just pick up what I can get. But I've been doing well with the Levy and Brandy and the Leasty stuff. So, but and Xeon's has got the leathery eggs you were saying before, and Diesel's got this mark on, so that'll be quite good. Yeah, I'll give all them a go. Then I'm going to see if I can get some ordinary scale profit on this one. I'm going to take my gold to HIP 110483. So I'm going from extraction to refinery. I'm not entirely sure I'll get a good profit there, but hey, no harm in giving it a go, is there? Unless you've got any instructions otherwise, which I haven't seen yet. But anyway, right, okay, I'll exit that and give you something to look at now. Exit. Will I refuel? Nah. I should have plenty of fuel to get there. Okay, let's actually do some of this flying stuff. What I'm actually going to do before I leave is I'm going to take a screenshot. And get a screenshot of Chione.
Ship released.
Landing
Engines
gear.
engaged. Landing gear retracted.
Yay! Oops.
Scan detected.
Yeah, that was fun. Engage Super Cruise. Engage Super Cruise.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
I think there's perhaps a warning for me that I should actually watch what I'm doing when I'm leaving a station and not be trying to read my my chat window. Oops. Right, let's just zoom a bit far out. Good rear kilometres out now? 700,000, you think? I think I'd maybe need a bigger cargo hold to get that. Maybe I'd need to add more cargo modules to the ship, because no, that'll fit in my window. Nope, not quite. Yeah, you're not kidding. That's why I tend not to try and dock it as often as I can. Right, do you fit in the window now? Yes, you do. So, engage Super Cruise. Screen, go to headlight modes, get rid of the white dot, and press F10. Right, okay. I was gutted to read, by the way, that engage hyperdrive.
Frameshift drive charging.
It's quite gutted to find on the forum recently that the Control F10 thing for taking a high-res screenshot was taken off the live mode. Wasn't impressed by that at all.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
The screen's still quite grainy, isn't it? Engage hyperdrive.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, 3, 2, 1, engage.
No, Galactic, you can't take any more high-res screenshots in open play. If you want to do that, you can still do it in solo mode, but not open play anymore. I think the reason for it was causing some problems. Whoa! How many stars? There wasn't. It was causing some kind of lag in the network connections. Okay. And I'm away from the cluster of space stations. Behave yourself. Cluster of suns. Oh, isn't that pretty? I love binary systems. Have a screenshot of that, I think. Right. Do I have somewhere I can dock? That'll do. This is not 300,000 bloody light years. Light seconds, sorry. Hewing, yeah, they did say it could be an exploit. There's a big discussion on the forums, I think it was, either on one of the Reddit streams, about the fact that that bit of lag would actually let people in. I don't know, not entirely sure. Yeah, the stream quality is slightly better. You can see it's actually readable now. I don't want to push it any further because I'm starting to drop frames now. Just in the last few minutes. I don't know why. Unless my son said he's going to start doing something online as well. Because Yeah, I should say as well, my son's on here as well. Anyone who knows him, I think James, you know him. Obviously, well, I know James knows him. Don't know who else might know him. He was at Fantasticon with me, helping me with the role-playing game stuff. But he's now on Elite Dangerous on his own spanking new computer, and you can find him by looking for Jethro Maddox, Jethro Maddox, Maddox. If you want to add him, feel free. I think he's probably already added you, James. I know what he's like. But yeah, he might have popped on as well for a bit, although it was a bit late for him. He got his new computer, and his mum spent a lot of time working out what he wanted to get, because we tried to keep it a secret from him. And eventually, he got it. He got a Skyrim with it. You're not getting my gold. Okay, maybe you are. Go, nothing to see here. Oh, that was a bit of fun for you. I didn't buy any weapons, Galactic Midden. I didn't buy them in the end because they didn't have any real decent weapons there at a decent price, and I wasn't paying 50,000 for a weapon I was only going to use now and again. I want to buy my Sidewinder first, get that kitted out, and then I'll get weapons for everything. Yeah, James, that's who added you earlier. He likes being mysterious. Whoa! Holy shit. I don't care who you are, that's brown trousers time when that happens. Bloody hell. High drama, God, my heart's going like a bloody jackhammer. Okay, I will. Jesus. The big question is that a glitch, or is that something that's meant to happen? Come out of hyperspace in the arse end of a space station. hope ducking request granted after the bloody heart attack you just gave me.
Scan detected.
Scan me all you like. I feel like there's other things I should be saying, like donate to Just Giving or Special Effect or whatever you want to donate to. Keep supporting Kate's thing wherever I am. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Landing gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
That's one thing I've not done is flight assist off stuff. I know most of you were on, well I know probably all of you because you're the only people that knew about it, but anyway, everyone that was on Kate's thing, so how she handled flight assist off last night, I'd be exactly the same. I haven't even tried it yet. I wasn't a big fan of Frontier or its flight engine, so I'm more of an elite flight sim person. Oh. Ooh, nice. Bodies. What did I buy? I bought gold, didn't I? Gold. Bought for 87.90. Sell for it's not really worth it, is it? Take it somewhere else, couldn't I? Where else would I take it to? Where else could I go? Where else is nearby? Dandy. Nothing. Federation Industrial Democracy. Yeah, let's try that then. Stick my pin in it. Yeah, Hewin, that's. I think I did use it for that once, just trying something out, and that was way back in the alpha. I tried a bit of the, because I've got a button mapped for flight assist off, so I did try that in one of the only combats that I actually had. I think it might be in one of the tutorials actually, rather than the actual main game. But it did okay. It wasn't brilliant, so I'll just stick with what I know. I think.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
Landing gear.
Landing gear retracted.
See if I can get out of here without whacking at somebody this time, shall we? Engage hyperdrive.
Frameshift drive charging.
So how am I doing then, guys? Is this something you would watch? Would you watch me do this on a regular basis, or is it boring?
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
If it's something that people would watch, then I'm quite happy to keep doing this kind of thing. Obviously I'll start pimping it around things. Pimping it around my Facebooks and Twitters and other social media stuff. Actually, no, with the hold for the gold, I'm not going to piss about. Rutherford Ring. Anything a bit closer? No, typical. Okay, long trip this one then. As I say, the longest one I've had so far has been Prism, by definite. I don't think I'm going for another system where I'm going to have to travel 300,000 light years to get to this station. Never mind. So what are you saying? All going fine. Edie's Twitch streams are best when there's a gold audience and sharing. Nice companion while flying myself. I'm going to head off. Oh, obviously James is bored then. That's his answer. Fair enough. Well, thank you for joining me, James. Appreciate it. If you've got any feedback or comments, then please send them by email or whatever, and I'll take them on board, because obviously you're quite experienced at this kind of thing. You're a god among Twitchers. Hopefully you'll still be there 30 seconds when he gets the message. AD Twitch streams are best when there's a goal the audience can share in. So what kind of goal would you think that would be? Like one of the challenge things, or reaching a certain amount of money, or selling something somewhere, or tempted by team chat setups. Yeah, I did quite enjoy playing with the voice comms today with Matt, because that was interesting, and it gives it another quite interesting side to it as well. If you can get a lot of people on the same session, that might be a lot of fun. That might depend on the wings feature. Okay, what's this? Okay, can someone tell me what this wings feature is? Because I've heard about it a couple of times, but I've not actually seen it anywhere yet, and it'll save me a trip to the forums. If someone can just tell me, that'd be great. I know I'm a lazy bugger. What I might do, once I've finished pootling about round here, I'll head back up to Civilization, I'll head back up to Leave, and I'll buy myself my Sidewinder that I'm after. And then I might take that pootling about, I might do some combat missions or something like that, or I might join in see if I can find a civil war somewhere I can join in for a bit. That might be quite fun. Kate's make good use of her novice stature in the course of the competition. You know, I wasn't actually aware that Kate hadn't played the game through the beta and everything like that. I thought she'd been playing it since it came out. I was quite surprised when I watched the first week and that she knew so little about what was going on, or about how it worked and so on. And it wasn't until she said that I've only just started playing it at the start of this stream that I thought, oh well, that explains it. I didn't realise. There you go. I mean, wings as in like wing commanders. A flight wing rather than a actual physical wings. Yeah, I suppose I should have really understood that one right away, shouldn't I? Sorry. That is a good idea. I like that idea. It's one of those things that would be good to have in the game, is actually being able to fly as a unit, as a coherent unit, and jump together and fly together, and not have to independently try and work it out. Be linked together, and actually have everyone linked together as in a or text environment, so you could issue commands to everybody. The press of a button or something would be nice. I would assume that would take things a bit closer to what Star Citizen is going to be like, because I see Star Citizen as being like the next generation version of what you call it, Wing Commander. Obviously, the name wasn't in my head, but I've just said it 4 times. It seems to be the next evolution of Wing Commander, which was that was much more the sort of thing where you had wingmen and all that sort of stuff. You could command them around, and you'd be in charge of it all, bossing everybody around. I must admit, I'm going to be quite critical here. Everyone who knows me knows what I'm like, a moany faced bugger that I am. But I'm not impressed with the community aspect of the game. I know I'm not actually a big multiplayer player. I'm not overly keen on multiplayer games, but that was a much more elegant exit from hyperspace. Sorry, I'm not a big fan of multiplayer games or anything like that. Yeah, slaved hyperdrives, exactly. That's the sort of thing that needs to be done. But for a game that has, obviously because of the offline mode being taken away, is now a solely online game, I would have thought that the online social aspect of the game would be a lot better. I had a conversation on Kate's comments yesterday, which I thank everybody for their answers for, saying that it's quite dynamic in the fact that once you actually get into the same system as someone else, it'll try and join you up. But there's a bit of a blank as to how you're actually supposed to find people. Because what I found today when I've been trying to get in touch with people, sort of, i.e. my son, or even Max at one point, or even Angel Rose, just you can't even send a text message to anybody. So you can't even say to somebody, right, where are you, I'll come down and find you, because the text messages won't get to them. Text comms. Okay, somebody's been shot at. Trying to stay out of the way of that.
Scan detected.
Stifler. Bloody Stifler. So, yeah, not overly impressed. It just seems like a huge omission for a game that's supposed to be online to not be able to actually get online. Landing gear. Landing gear. Bloody cloth-eared chip.
Landing gear deployed.
Oh,
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
I think from what I read yesterday about it, Hewin, what it tries to do, correct me if I've picked this up wrong, is what it tries to do is when you hyperspace into a system, as you're hyperspacing it then tries to match you up with people on your friends list who are in that same area. Now whether it's that same system or not, I don't know. So that's obviously going to bring you onto the same session with people that you know. And that's fair enough, but as I say, up until that point you don't know where anybody is, and if you've got no way of texting them through the game, then you obviously can't find them there either. So I'm confused. But as I think as Kate said, if everybody on Kate's list, for example, friends each other, then it makes it more likely that you'll automatically log into the same area, the same session. But I just think it's clunky. I mean, if you're matched up with people, then it should try and, or at least there should be some way, even if you're in different sessions but on the same server, then you should still be able to get a message from one place to the other, because you're all going through a central location anyway, so it should be able to transfer it across. So that's just my thought. I'm not telling them how to write their game, but oh, that's better. Oh, look at that bad boy. Well, hey, 26,000 credits. That's a lot better than 1,000 credits I was going to get before. So what I'll do is I'll make a note of that one. I'll scribble out a pen and paper now. Buy from refinery. Sell to industrial. Gold. I'm not going to go back to the prism system because the prism system is just unnavigable. Yeah, I think scenarios are going to be good. Yeah, in-game notes and logs would be very useful. I've either got a bit of paper sitting in front of me. I mean, I run Elite in a window on the new computer because I've not got a widescreen monitor for it. I've only got a 4:3 aspect ratio monitor. So I run it in 1280 by 720 in a window. So I've got some space above and below that I can use to look at notes and so on. That's how I know that my stream's working, and Voice Attack has got some very strange ways of interpreting what I say. Actually, that could be quite fun posting that to a log actually. The news to the dinner was sort of time on the Maastricht walk-in, and was attackers were. There you go. We're soft, some space above and below. Yearling enormous and locks would be very useful than the that of the 2% from Yelping tourism have a good. That's what Voice Attack is trying to pick up what I'm saying. The only thing it ever seems to pick up is accurate is when I say about my landing gear or stuff like that. So Voice Attack's very good though, I have to admit. Yeah, Damocles was a very good trailer, but it's not a gameplay trailer though, is it? Because you can't do that. I'd love to know how they did what they did on at the launch event when they did Karash and his mates doing a bit of flight against Imperial Interdictor, because that was lovely. I'd love to know how they did that, because obviously that's not something that's easy to do in game unless it's largely pre-planned. I think all these about scripted events and scribbling and scenarios, I think all these things that are kicking off in certain systems that have been getting talked about in the Garnet news broadcasts are something that needs to get looked at. I think if you're in the middle of them, I think there was stuff happening. So I'm gonna sell all that stuff. Quite impressed with that. That worked well. Nice. Ideally, what I want to find now would be another planet similar, with a similar sort of economy. What about there? Is there anything there? No. There. What's that? Refinery. Extraction. Where am I? Am I here? How many chances am I? Or chances? I think actually, to be honest, on that note, I might look at calling it a night tonight for this test. It's been over an hour now, guys. So I really appreciate the fact that you've sat here with me and showed me the ropes and chatted away. It's been lovely. Quite enjoyed it. The only thing missing from these is some kind of other voice interaction. I think that would be an awesome addition to Twitch. So you could all be on like voice chat at the same time. That would be great. But perhaps not. There's other options for that, I suppose. But yeah, I do appreciate the fact that you've sat here after Kate's stream. I'm probably going to get some kind of telling off from the wife for sitting up here for so long. But you know what? I don't care. So I shall probably fly around a bit for a bit more after I've gone, trying to see if I can get some local trade, or I might head back up to Lave now, because I really need to get back up there and perhaps do something similar. So yeah, so I'll keep you notified if you follow this, or if you keep an eye on sort of the various different things that I've got. I've got a Twitter account, a Facebook account, I've got my website, so I'll give you the names of all those. It's Selezen Lake on Facebook, and it's HD Selezen on Twitter, and the website is daftworks.co.uk. That's daft as in idiotic, and works as in, well, opposite of doesn't work. .co.uk, and the blog is on the RPG website, which is the same URL with a slash elite RPG at the end, and I do updates on there usually for the Kickstarter. If you check that out now and again, or add the RSS feed using the button that's there, then you can check out the updates in the blogs. So I'll let you know if I'm going to do this again and if I'm going to schedule it regularly. But thanks for the support. Yeah, voice chat might avoid the chat lag trouble. Yeah, definitely. That'd be a lovely thing to do. So anyway, you're welcome, and hopefully I'll see you again, guys. Take care. Bye. Insert end title music here. La 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 la.